everyone, welcome back to my class. In my last lesson, I have introduced the objects and classes, and this is the continuation of the previous class, which is inheritance and polymorphism. So what is inheritance and polymorphism? Inheritance is inheriting any methods and attributes from another class. This information helps to include any method which is used from a superclass to reuse it in the subclass. These informations are combined by overloading and overriding any methods while using inheritance and polymorphism. And what is polymorphism? Polymorphism is a different way of outputting these methods. And in polymorphism, what you will learn at the end of the lesson, there are constructors which I have discussed in my previous lesson. If you want to watch, you can go to my channel and re-study the class again. In this constructor, which I mentioned, the previous keyword was this keyword. In here, we are using the super keyword when we would like to override or reuse the same method or reuse the same output in a superclass or in a subclass. And toString method, which was also mentioned in my previous class in objects and classes, this helps to return any type of variables or attributes we have defined into our class and print it out in our main class. And there are some kind of modifiers which I mentioned also previously, which were public, private, protected classes, or it can be variables. And let's pass to the information. These classes, there we have three classes. One of them is superclass, which is geometric object, and the remaining classes are the subclasses of this class, which inherits by the superclass. And circle and rectangle class have some kind of attributes or parameters, which is if it's negative, these parameters are private, and if these are positive, these parameters are public. In here we have constructor. In constructor we have two parameters in the first constructor, which is the rectangle constructor, and on our third constructor we have four attributes, which are width, height, color, and field, which has a Boolean type. And these two subclasses inherit a superclass and form a method. Let's solve one example for this informations. Let's say we have one animal class. We have an animal class. Let's change our class into animal. In an animal, we have to describe one method which is used to say that this is a sound method. And this sound method doesn't have a return type. That's why we are writing it as a void type. So we say, here is a sound. Later on, we have to define one more class dog, which extends the animal class. Animal is a superclass, dog is a subclass. In dog, again, we are overriding the sound method and say public void sound. The sound of a dog can be, let's say, grrr. And let's have one more class, which is a cat, extends, and animal class. In this class, we override the same method again. Public void sound, system out println. The sound of a cat can be, and we have to give main class, which is public class main. If you have seen, we have class animal, class dog, class cat, but in our main class we have public class main, which is used to say that this is our class, which is used to print out all the informations from the sub and super classes in this main class. That's why we include it as a public class. And let's define our main method. In our main method, we have to define our objects. Animal is equal to new animal and the sound of an animal, animal sound. This is a general method. That's why it's only going to print. Here is a sound. Animal dog is equal to new dog, dog that sound. And let's print this output. Here is a sound. This is the sound of a dog, let's say. This is a way of describing the polymorphism by saying animal dog is equal to new dog. Now let's define our cat class. Cat is equal to new cat. Cat that sounds. In this way, we can have all the sounds for each class and for each sound methods. These methods are overridden by using override methods and printed as seen. This is all the information for polymorphism and inheritance. Now let's use a super keyword. Let's erase all this information. Let's create a new class, which is class animal. And in this class, we have to define one attribute, which is name of an animal. After defining that, we have to define a constructor as usual. And the constructor should have the same name with the class name. In the constructor, we have to define our attribute. In the attribute, we're going to use this keyword, this that name is equal to name. Later on, our new class, which is dog, extending our superclass. Superclass is the animal class. In the animal class, we have to define a super method, which is matching our constructor. That's why we have to say public dog string name. In the name, we have to say super name, which is used to match our constructor by a subclass. And we are overriding the sound method. And super dot sound. And we have to define a method in order to match our sound method. Yeah, public void sound. Sound of an animal. And later on, we have to match our sound method, which is used to say the sound of a dog, right? Create our main class. Public main, public class main, and our main method. This is going to have a name for a dog is equal to name dog. The dog is going to have a name, let's say doggy. In the doggy, we have to say dog that sound. In here, we are going to say we have defined that the name of the dog in our object, and we call the method, and we say the name of the dog is plus dog that name, and we print our result. The sound of an animal, which is our method, and the sound of a dog, which is barking. Let's change it as a barking. And the name of the dog is doggy. So this is how defining an overridden method using the super keyword and using inheritance or polymorphism. That's all for today. If you have any questions, you can write it into comments. See you next time. Bye bye.